We made it. I opened up a Spindrift. You couldn't see because you were watching the music video, but I opened up a Spindrift. Spindrift. Made with real squeezed juice since 2010. This is a bit that I'm doing that's going to make me really, really rich one day when the Spindrift Corporation, the conglomerate, decides to give me, let's just say, and I'm not saying it has to be this much money, but let's just say $100 million is a good price, I think, for this. So we got that. We've got music from Andrew Elmore in the background as always. Go to satellitesound.net. I got the good tunes. And I wasn't going to do this today, but I decided I should do this today, if only to keep myself honest and to keep myself doing this on the day that it's supposed to happen. I'm a little out of sorts. I was out of town last week. I was in Vancouver, British Columbia. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's a good spot. And I was enjoying, it's really bright light. That's much worse. This is weird. I got to get a better light setup, I think. I'm getting a better camera. I ordered a camera because this one is like pretty low quality. So I got a new camera. My standing desk doesn't stand anymore. It's broken. So I don't have a good angle there either. I'm just going to talk into the mic like this. Got an MC today. I guess I'll just start by saying that, yes, I was supposed to be doing this 30 minutes ago, and then I got pulled into a meeting, which was really interesting. One of the benefits of my job and working at a company like Riot. Again, I'm not here on behalf of Riot. I'm here on my own. Just to be very clear. But one of the things that's nice about it is that I get access to lots of conversations about what's going on in the industry. So just having like a really interesting industry convo with some people like externally. But it's cool to be invited into these things, especially as it pertains to like sort of like what like the industry's dealing with globally, which is kind of cool. But anyway, I did that. So I pushed this back and here we are 30 minutes late. I don't know how long we'll go for. It is my birthday, though, so I want to have a quick birthday. I'm going to give myself a birthday gift I've been trying not to be too political here. I know that I am, and I do have the Abolish ICE thing at the bottom, so maybe I'm doing a bad job of it. But, you know, I don't want this to be a show where I come in and it's just like, here's some bad vibes. I want it to be fun. I want it for myself, selfishly, right? Like, things are weird right now. I want it to be fun. But I was out of the country, and in Canada, which is a country that has its own issues and challenges, of course, every country does. They've got a lot of the same sort of right-wing social media nonsense, bad media people, all that kind of stuff. But the news when I was there was a lot more, and this isn't surprising, clear-eyed about the stuff that the American government is doing to us, to people abroad, to everybody, basically. And they were pretty straight up that, like, the government was using the killing of Charlie Kirk as a cudgel against freedom of speech. And so I just wanted to say, since I didn't get to talk about it last week when they were pulling off Jimmy Kimmel from the air and trying desperately to figure out a way to use Kirk's death to take us all down a notch, as they're trying to do today with the shooting in an ICE facility, which, by the way, the victims were detainees. So they're trying to pin this on the far left. I'm not so sure. And I just wanted to say this. I think that we have the right to say whatever we want to say in this country, as long as it's not actually a call to violence or anything like that. We don't have to be sad about anybody going, if they have spent their life fomenting hatred. Doesn't mean that we should be happy that we're in this moment, but we are not obligated to celebrate anybody who has made the world a worse place. So that's what I wanted to say about that. That is my birthday gift to myself, saying it. Shouldn't be a surprise if anybody's watching where I stand on this, but let's work towards a future where there are fewer people who feel that their ticket to success is making life worse for the people around them. We do not need to venerate the Charlie Kirks of the world. J.D. Vance today is trying to say, oh, everybody who disagrees with Republicans, they all just say we're Nazis. And there's a way to fix this. It's just to not be a Nazi. Honestly, J.D. Vance, you guys, ICE agents, all of y'all, if you don't want to be seen as Nazis, stop doing Nazi shit. It seems easy. So anyway, doesn't take a genius to know how to do that. It doesn't take a genius to know how not to be a Nazi, but these guys are not doing it. So if you don't want to be called a Nazi, don't do Nazi shit. Anyway, video game manuals. How about it? That was my birthday gift to myself. What a thing. When you turn 42 years old, your birthday gift to yourself is to say on your stream that the vice president sucks. So there we go. Congrats to me. In the old days, it would be getting a Nintendo game. But for right now, we'll have to make do with getting a Nintendo game video game manual. I can't do this. Thank you, Noel Problems. I appreciate it. Welcome to the chat. Thank you so much. Says, you're right, and you should say it. I appreciate that. I think that we all have the right to say it, even if sometimes it's not the nicest thing to say. We should all be able to say what we believe to be true. And it helps to be right, honestly. Okay, thank you so much. Thanks for coming. We are now going to move over into the video game manual portion, the fun stuff, I think, and we will check out a little gameplay footage first from a little game called Cabal. So our two manuals today are Cabal on the Nintendo Entertainment System and Growl on the Sega Genesis. Two games with strong words, strong names, and potentially some fun-looking action. Actually, I was watching both of these, and I was like, man, these games are actually rad. So here's a little bit of gameplay from Cabal. If I can figure out how to... Nope. Can I figure out how to use YouTube? Let's find out. Cabal. Here we go, friends. Cabal time. I'm going to turn the music off. Boop. Andrew Elmore's music is paused for a second. There's no audio yet. So, where's the sound? Where's the sound? Hold on. Oh, there's sound. So this game actually looks rad. Did Rare do this? I didn't realize Rare did this one, says Null Problems. I'm getting a phone call from a spam number. I missed it. Holy smokes. I knew I would like this game for a reason. This game is great. I didn't even know it was Rare, but it's pretty darn good. Let's see what happens now. His dance is cool. Very cool dance. Oh. Should we learn about the scale?
I was about to give up until I discovered the Hume Body Pod. This isn't just another smart scale. It's a complete body intelligence system used in over 12,000 health clinics worldwide, now available for your home. The moment I stepped on it and grabbed the handles, it sent safe electrical currents through my entire body, scanning and analyzing my arms, legs, and torso with 98% accuracy.
I don't think I'm not buying it.
Changed everything. While my weight hadn't changed, I'd actually lost 7 pounds of fat and gained 6 pounds of muscle. The Body Pod measures...
Well, okay. I'll watch this later for myself. Let's read about Cabal. How about that, huh? Cabal, the video game manual. Let's read it. Okay, Cabal, video game manual. Here we go. I'm so out of sorts today. Let's do this. It is for 1 to 2 players in the great tradition of video games from this era. It's just about being a guy who's murking folks. So here you go, Cabal, Milton Bradley. That's right, Rare did a lot of games with Milton Bradley on the Nintendo. Man, I should have known this. I had no idea. Now I've got to go buy a copy of Cabal and have it in my house because I love it. I'm going to zoom in. Let's go this way. Let me try to zoom in a little bit. I know it's hard to see. I know it's small. Rare, this is from Null Problems. Rare was given a Cabal cabinet but did not have access to the game's source code, so they had to play the game over and over and redraw the graphics from memory. That is pretty good. I bet that happened quite a bit actually at the time, huh? I feel like that's the kind of thing that was very of the era, but that's, man, The dudes at Rare in the NES era were so prolific. It's crazy. And so that they had to come up with these games in like the manner that Null Problems was just describing is really something else. But it gave us great dancing animations. So I think that's cool. Your orders, soldier, he says. It's a little bit hard to see. Apologies. At ease. Major I Am Havoc here. Great. Combat consultant to the International World Affairs Council. We've just received notice of a worldwide assault being planned by DRAT, the dreaded Republic of Allied Terrorists. The council has instructed me to select a volunteer to defuse the situation. And guess what? You just volunteered. I don't think you're going to be doing a lot of diffusing. This is diffusing a situation in the way that they do in the new one of those more recent Call of Duty games where you have to point the gun at a guy. It's not real diffusing, but yes, love it when manuals are narrated in character. I do too. This is Major I Am Havoc. Get ready for a week's R&R, recon, and ruination at the terrorist camp on a secluded island paradise. You'll stroll the warm tropical beaches as bullets shred the sand at your feet. Gaze at enchanting sunsets as you dodge the raking fire of deadly combat choppers, and admire the beauty of ancient ruins, and then ruin them some more. Woo! This is strictly a covert operation. The council cannot claim responsibility for you if you fail. You're on your own, and if you mess up, it's your hide. The entire terrorist camp must be wiped out or the vermin will begin their reign of terror. Major I Am Havoc, that's not how we talk about people. Leave no buildings standing, no ships floating, no choppers flying. And most importantly, clear the entire zone of enemy personnel. Keep your eyes open and your finger on the trigger. Complete your mission and the world can breathe a sigh of relief. And good luck, soldier. You're gonna need it. Major I Am Havoc with a nice, that's a pretty good signature. Major I Am Havoc, combat consultant, IWAC. Whatever he does in his own time is up to him. I don't know why he needed to tell us there. IWAC, just doing some jokes. We're going to talk guns and ammo. What do you need to take on an entire terrorist camp? Well, you'll start the game with a TUF-99 assault rifle and 10 frag 57 grenades. Just line up your targets on the crosshair to shoot them down. You get bonuses. You get little bonus guns. You get bonus grenades. You get bonus yellow stars to get bonus points for a higher score. Jump, duck, and roll. And then it tells us that we have 5 levels of action. I'm going to move this way, moving the screen around. There are 5 levels to get through, each with 4 scenes. The terrorists will throw everything they have at you, including the kitchen sink. Battle tanks, choppers, sharpshooters, and a whole lot more. I forgot to turn the music back on. You've been stuck listening to just me. A terrible, terrible fate. At the end of each level, you'll have to defeat an awesome war machine to go ahead. Level 1, start off shooting in an old village, and then proceed to the terrorist airbase, if you survive. There, Drat's troops, armored assault vehicles, and choppers have formed a little welcoming party for you. When you reach the airbase, be prepared. Be prepared. Great song, by the way. One thing that we should get back to is movies that have a really good villain song. We got Scar from The Lion King. We've got Ursula from The Little Mermaid. That is one of the few true complaints I have about Aladdin, aside from, I guess, all the problematic components, is that Jafar doesn't really get a great song. He gets like a moment or two, but it never turns into a full song. So let's bring it back. I'm not sure why I brought that. Oh, because it says be prepared. There we go. The Super Strike Chop. I could use a sip of my drink. Holy mackerel. I feel so healthy. The Super Strike Chopper will drop in to say, hi. Defeat the chopper, and you can move ahead. Level 2 level 2. I got to figure out a better way to do this. This level gives hit the beach a whole new meaning. Rake the sand with your bullets and pound the turf with your grenades. Enemy frogmen lurking in the tide pool add a little intensity to the hard-hitting action. After the beach, you'll head inland, where the action doesn't get any cooler. A little surprise awaits you, ready to halt your progress. whoever wrote this manual was doing like my dream job. This is my dream job. They got to get paid for writing a little sub prize awaits you to halt your progress. And great idea in the chat. Page 10 of the manual for Cabal earns this week's Spindrift page of the week. Forgetting to say, this level gives Hit the Beach a whole new meaning, describing frogmen lurking in tide pools nearby, and a little surprise waiting for you. Bottoms up is the saying. That's the phrase we say whenever there's the Spindrift page of the week. Bottoms up. Holy shit. I'm keeping the diseases at bay. Thank you so much. Level 3, welcome to Drats. And we got the Spindrift page of the week with only half of page 10 read. So we'll see what happens. Welcome to Drats Naval Headquarters. The loading docks are crawling with terrorists who can make your stay very unpleasant. Destroy warehouses, giant cranes, and a battleship while avoiding deadly air fire from choppers and jet fighters. Then demolish cannons by the truckload to advance to level 4. Well, okay, I gotta be honest. Level 2 did most of the carrying on the Spindrift page of the week here, but level 2 was so good that it made up for level 3 not having all that much going on. So let's read about levels 4 and 5 on page 11. See if we get another Spindrift page of the week. It's a jungle out there! And it literally is so. Bottoms up. And if you make it out alive, it's into the unforgiving heat of the desert. There, you'll encounter more terrorists than you can shake a stick at, so launch a grenade or two. Your aim and persistence will be tested as you try to destroy the cannons in the shell-spewing pillboxes. It's hard to say. If you're successful, it's on to level 5. Level 5, make molehills out of mountains in this final level. You'll have to draw on your last reserves as the relentless terrorist troops seem to grow out of the desert sand. Wipe them out and confront Drat's last line of defense. Keep your guns blazing because you never know what's going to pop up. Defeat Drat's final war machine and you've completed your mission. Congratulations, you've won the game. Winning the game, you've survived the 5 levels of perilous play and ended the terrorist threat. You're to be commended for a job well done. Enter your initials on the scoring screen, move the cursor around with the control pad, and press button A to enter each initial. The next time you decide to wipe out the entire terrorist camp, see if you can better your score. Keep track of your scores on the page at right. I like this. You know what? We might have 2 Spindrift pages of the week because I've never seen one of the score pages at the back of a manual do anything, honestly, of interest. You get 0 to 50,000, you're a grunt, keep trying. I like the idea of like signing my name next to that. Like it's like, yeah, I need to do a lot better. 50,000 and 1 point to 100,000. Sergeant of Special Commando Forces, 100K plus to 250. Enemy Elimination Engineer, and 250,000 and 1 points and above. IWAC's Official and Ambassador of Ill Will. The IWAC Official Ambassador of Ill Will. You've got a 90-day warranty from Milton Bradley. So thank you to Milton and thank you to Bradley, 2 of my good friends. You got the compliance with FCC regulations. If you got any questions, please call them at 413-525-3545. Game counselors are available Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:45 p.m. Eastern Time. So you can get up at 5 in the morning in California and get some help on Cabal. Which sounds great, honestly. I'm always waking up early to play Cabal, so I'm just glad that somebody will be able to help me at 5 in the morning, my time. So let's go ahead and keep on trucking. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I too would be filling out my grunt level rank. I'm not sure. Looking at that game, it seemed quite difficult. So none of us yet are IWAC ambassadors of ill will, but maybe one day we can be. The next game is a little game called Growl, which is a game from Taito, and this one's on the Sega Genesis. It is an arcade port where you go and rescue animals from poachers. So I'm glad to be having a game. You know, I think it's fair to argue that potentially The politics of Cabal are less than ideal. I don't know what's in their hearts. I do know the folks at Rare are good folks, but I don't know what was in the hearts of the men involved in Cabal, the actual story of Cabal. Presumably fairly conservative, so I don't know if I want to get behind them. But we do have some good politics coming up in a game about killing animal poachers, I guess. I'm assuming there's good politics involved. I don't know exactly how everybody is going to be presented in the game, so I reserve the right to use to retract that statement. And if I need to retract that statement and say that this game does not have good politics, I'm introducing a new concept to the show this week. In addition to the Spindrift page of the week, I am introducing the Spindrift retraction of the week, where if I take a sip of Spindrift, not only does this help keep the scurvy at bay, it also allows me a free pass if I've said something potentially offensive that I didn't intend. So it'll look a little something like this. Bottoms up. There we go. The Spindrift retraction of the week. We haven't even done it yet, but I'm gonna go. All right. To my fellow IWAC ambassadors of ill will, let's give some ill will to the animal abusers. Here's some gameplay from Growl on the Sega Genesis. I think there might be a lot to enjoy here. Turn the volume up a little bit. How about that? Taito. Pretty Genesis-y sounding. Darren, have a good one. Thank you so much for hanging out. I know it's late. Thanks for joining. See you later. We got some options. Got exit. I'm not sure what the waterfall is all about. You got Jen, you got Burn, you got Khan, you got Jack. They've chosen Jack. In the early part of the 20th century, a group of evil poachers recklessly hunted animals nearly to extinction. Hello, this is the Ranger. What? Understand this. We will not fail to defeat the evil poachers. You won't get away with this, he says. That was cool. Ah, come on. You gonna throw it at me right now?
Yup.
Mm-hmm. Nope. Okay, so the table exploded. The table exploded, and apparently within the table was a sword and a grenade launcher, a rocket launcher. This is great stuff. Oh my god. Yeah, this is a lot to give somebody right at the beginning. Oh, this guy's a... Hey, stop it, he says. Who do you think you are? There's a lot of people. That's a lot of sprites for a Genesis game. Blow this guy up. See, you're a good guy. Ooh, when they break the boxes, look at the animation. It looks kind of good. Oof. I will say I think I'm getting the idea of what this game's all about. Let's fast forward and see if there's anything truly wild. Oh, why? Huh? Okay. Bonus stage, get the birds out. This is a cool game. Get the gun. Yeah. Ta-da. Okay, let's read the manual. Oh my god. Cool game. Okay, we got a cool game. Anyway, let's read about it. Here's Growl. I don't know if you all can all see. I'm going to move this over. All right, plank explosion. Here we go. Growl on the Sega Genesis. Look at these cool guys. At first, I thought the guy in red had a boombox. Unfortunately, it's not a boombox. It's that grenade launcher from the beginning of the game. Excuse me. Let's read about it. I'm a little congested, so when I get a cold, which I had like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago maybe at this point, I'll get like a sinus infection all the time. If anybody has any good sinus infection tips, let me know. I will continue to drink the Spindrift, which I believe is the claim that they make is that it will fix your sinus infection. They don't write it on the can. I'm just assuming that's what happens, but it's not working yet. So if anybody has any good sinus infection tips, please let me know. Not to TMI you, but I get stuck with them for so long. I want to call attention to the cool lion over here. So do we like this? This game? McMayhem is here. Hello. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. The game does look great already. And as Noel Problem notes, it could be grossly irresponsible to free these animals in the manner that they're being freed here. But I think when it comes to like ecology and environmentalism, I think that the term that gets used most by experts is it's the thought that counts. And so if, your heart's in the right place, maybe you accidentally let loose some bald eagles into a jungle full of other predators, or a lion into the city streets, but it's the thought that counts. So I think that that's really where we probably land on this. So I think that's right. I think that that's exactly correct. So there we go. Let's go ahead. Again, here's the lion. This is the lion we saved at the beginning of the game, potentially. Growl, the story so far. It is the year 1998. Congratulations to us and living in the future. It is the future year of 1998. Flashback 64. Curious if you might know what is the number one Nintendo 64 game of 1998. I'm curious. What were we doing in 1998? Is that GoldenEye? A worldwide craze to own rare and exotic pets. We're talking about rare again. What did I say? I said Flashback 64, right? Did I say it the wrong way? Rampage World Tour. There we go. The number one game in the world in 1998 was Rampage World Tour because what happened in this game, Growl, is they saved a bunch of animals, but they did it next to a factory where they were making some sort of mutagen by accident, and then they became the three monsters in Rampage World Tour. So Rampage World Tour is actually, if I'm thinking about this correctly, a direct sequel to Growl, and also Real. I'm not really sure where I'm going with this, so I'm gonna pull the ripcord on this bit because I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm going to invoke the Spindrift retraction of the week. Nothing weird was ever said. We made it. Of course, these species are protected by law, but no one seems to want to listen. Compelled by the prestigious status it brings to own exotic pets, people are willing to pay the big bucks. And the sellers, of course, are getting rich in the process. The Protectors of Animals World Society, PAWS, has made it their number one goal to bring a stop to this horrible trade. Its main target is a clandestine organization operating under the cover name the Rendau Animal Protection Organization, RAPO. Now, this name would imply they are concerned with animal welfare. Quite contrary. They are nothing but a bunch of greedy lowlifes operating the world's largest poaching and smuggling ring, and with little concern for wildlife of any kind. The ring is reportedly based in the port city of Machanga, but every PAWS agent sent there to investigate has turned up missing. Recently, Interpol agents found the body of one of the missing PAWS agents. Obviously, a unique spelling of obviously the victim of foul play. The body had bullet wounds in the abdomen, and what looked like animal teeth marks on one shoulder. In the victim's stomach, uncovered during the autopsy, was a microfilm wrapped in plastic. Although the microfilm shed no light on the case, it did provide an added wrinkle. The 7 photographs were of strange beasts that could only be described as monsters. maybe my theory that I retracted earlier about Rampage World Tour, not so far off base. The frustrated Paz leaders had decided to send 4 special agents into Machanga. These agents are licensed for destructive commando operations, but have been specially handpicked for their concern and love for animals. Your agent has arrived in Machanga and now waits to make contact another Paz agent. And your agent has arrived in Machanga and now waits to make contact another Paz agent. It's fine. That reads fine. So there we go. Everything is coming together. We've got some weapons, etc., barrels, the contents of crates, things your enemies drop, etc., can be picked up and carried for future use. Your energy gauge shows you the level of energy of your Paz agent. The gauge starts green, changing to yellow at damage level 1, red at level 2, damage level 3. The agent dies, the gauge goes blank, and the game is over. This shows the special weapon. This is the weaponry display. And score your current score and best recorded score. You got a couple of special agents. Now, unfortunately, we get to see their faces. We don't get to learn a whole lot about them other than that we know that they love animals. You got Jen. You got Burn. Burn's got a lot of energy. You got Con. You got Jack. Jen, Burn, Conjack. Jen, Burn, and Conjack. That's my name. Jen, Burn, Conjack. You got weapons, etc. These items may be hidden in something like a barrel or a crate, or dropped by an enemy, or as we saw at the beginning of the game, just inside of a table, I guess, when it blows up. So yeah, there's a little bit of a last-minute editing in this manual. The Genesis, I having read a number of these now, I think the Sega Genesis has the messiest manuals of all of them, which is why I love it so much. These items may be hidden in something. I just read that, didn't I? A knife can be thrust at short range or thrown. An iron bar can be swung vertically or horizontally. A sword can be thrust or swung vertically or horizontally. Eat an apple to gain physical strength by 1 point. A whip can hit an enemy in front or behind at fairly long range. Throw a grenade by pressing the attack button. Take cover on the ground until it explodes. And the pistol comes loaded with 6 bullets. Once you use up the ammunition, you can throw the empty gun at your opponent by pressing the attack button. You've got an AK-47, which is loaded with a 24-round clip. Each burst fired uses 3 bullets. Once used up, you can use the gun to hit your opponent. Of course, you've got a rocket launcher, 4 explosive rockets. You can hit it, of course, with the launcher. You got crates, you got rocks, you got barrels, you got powder kegs, and if you see an eagle captured by the enemy in Field 1, free it, and it will follow you through Field 1 and attack your enemies. Andrew Elmore is here. Hello. You have come to support animal welfare by joining today. So there we go. Battlefields. Field 1, Machanga. In a dive bar in Machanga, our man is waiting to make contact with a Paz agent. Suddenly, a grenade flies at him. They're using, like, when the news media in America reports on police violence and they use that passive voice, they're like, oh, a man was struck by a bullet during an officer-involved shooting. That's what's happening right here. So who is the manual writer for this? And why are their sympathies lying with the Rapo group? Suddenly, a grenade flies at him. Grenades happen to be flying around. I don't know. Could not have been thrown directly by anybody. He takes cover instantly, survives the blast, then pulls a weapon from the crate and starts his counterattack. Knowing that his contact will not show up, our man goes out onto the city. He finds a man beating a lion in an open square, and he attacks with fury. Yeah, he did. It's true. He killed that guy with a grenade launcher. He finds a mysterious man loading a consignment of rare birds onto a train bound for the port. When our man thinks that he's taken care of the whole gang, one last goon appears in a dynamite vest. These poachers are pretty intense. One last goon. So he's caught a man gooning in a dynamite vest, which seems a little extreme to me, but to each their own. Maybe that character works over at IWAC. Thinking, it's a callback to the last game, the unwelcome passenger, thinking the train will take him to some useful information, our man jumps on top of the train. This guy just works completely on vibes. But the train is full of Rapo goons. Everyone out for blood. Not sure that's my understanding of the definition, but that's okay. Down on the docks, The train reaches its... So the goons... They're gooning on the docks, folks. The train reaches its destination as the enemy attacks grow stronger. Our man knows he's getting closer to his goal because the streets are full of Rappo men. There's no way out without a fight. I'm also realizing as I'm saying this, I think I have like a very loose definition and understanding of what gooning is. So if it's something genuinely offensive, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to ask you to genuinely please tell me, because I'm not trying to be offensive in any significant way, maybe gross. And then I'm also going to take another spin. I'm going to wait actually until I hear back, and then I'll do my Spindrift retraction of the week. I got one, but I can do two. The last group of goons gives our man a clue about what Rappo is up to. 4 giants, all with the same face. Everyone's got a type. But to get to the ringleader, he'll have to beat the giants one by one. Page 12 of this manual gets our second Spindrift page of the week. After knocking out, this is field 4, by the way. Knocking out. Space Astrocat is here. That's right. Goon off, King. There we go. It's gonna be a fun day for the rest of today. I'm in a strange mood. Cargo of death. After knocking out the giants, our man discovers a secret pier with a cargo ship docked there. He curses Rappo when he finds elephants caged on board and sets out to free them as quickly as possible. After he has beaten the Rappo crew, our man meets another giant, this one with his face covered by a cloth bag. As our man winds up for the knockout blow after a fierce battle, the giant begs for mercy. Field 5, Jungle Battle. Our man sights land and beaches the ship, but as he enters the forest, he's met by an artillery barrage. Facing a tank, he thinks that his road ends here. But what about the elephants? I'm assuming that means the elephants come out and help, or is he just his final thoughts? What about the elephants? Field 6, Daggers in the Dark. Our man finds a tunnel that can only be the entrance to the smuggler's stronghold. He lights a torch and enters, but the tunnel guards jump him from the darkness. You can't use his special moves because he's holding the torch, so he has to dodge and jump past the guards. And then you've got Field 7, the Rappo base. The tunnel empties into the edge of a cliff. The ledge gives way, and as he struggles to hold on, an eagle flies near. He grabs it, and it takes him to the enemy base. Now it's time to take on the Rappo ringleader and save the endangered animals. You've got members of Rappo. Hard to see. It looks like we've got Jet Gun. We've got Hassan. We've got the Booster. We've got Gazos. We got Nitro Man, and we've got down here at the very bottom Doll. Hard to see some of these folks, but there they are. And that is the manual for Growl. Thank you to Growl. Thank you to Taito. Thank you to Sega and Genesis. Thank you to Sega for allowing us to play games on the Sega Genesis. And thank you to this lion right here. I'm stretching for time. And more than anything, thank you to everybody here for joining me on what I had on actually like a stream that I had a lot of fun with. I wasn't sure I was going to do this. I'm really glad that I did. Thank you for coming. Thanks for hanging out. And I hope that everybody, takes the lesson from this manual in particular, which is that if you see an animal in danger, I think that you are supposed to blow up the people who might be putting it in danger. 1, 2, release any animal anywhere you find it. Just go for it. And that's what the animal would want. Because again, I think as we all know, the takeaway here is it's the thought that counts. So animals are safe from... Yeah, that's true too. 2 things. Good point, no problems. Animals are safe from explosions. We know this. And I know this, and I know that Spindrift agrees with me. So I'm going to take a sip to that, because Spindrift and I both say animals are safe from explosions. And you're also safe from explosions. So if you explode something nearby you, you're going to be fine. But if an eagle shows up, grab it, because it's going to take you to the bad guy. Because the eagle says, the eagle knows what's up. Birds are so smart. I mean, that's the thing. Like, birds are so smart. and eagles know where the bad guy is that you are specifically looking for. So if you ever need to battle your enemy, like maybe your like arch nemesis, find an eagle and it will take you there, no matter where it is, no matter what kind of arch nemesis you need to fight. So I think that's what we've learned today. And as such, we've learned quite a lot. Thank you for coming by. Enjoy a spindrift, especially if you make any mistakes. Enjoy a spindrift to retract statements. And Andrew Elmore, your backyard has 3 eagles if you ever need to borrow one. I would just hold on to those, because if you wind up with 3 enemies, you can probably designate an eagle per enemy, I'm guessing is how that works. I think that's how that works. I haven't had an eagle before, so I don't really know, but that's how it works with parrots. So have a good day, everybody. Thank you. I'll stop doing this. I'm going to go back to the music video because, thank you for coming. No problems. Thanks. That was the first time chatting, so thank you for joining. I had a great time. This was a really fun birthday thing for me to do, so appreciate y'all. Let's go watch the Road Blaster intro, and then we'll see you later. Bye.